Yo, what's going on, guys? About to start the stream really quick. And damn, this music is loud on my end. Whew. But yeah, just rocking out to some tunes. Shout outs to this plugin I'm using. It's really dope. Playing one of my YouTube playlists, and this is like what's just like the 4 or so tracks you heard that's from that playlist, and I'm always adding to it. So, but yeah, like, you get the stream started really soon. Crazy day. Dreadful. That's what Tuesdays are made of, and we're going to be playing some Metroid Dread, so just stay tight. In a minute and a half, give or take. Stay tuned, guys. Yo, I'm invisible. No, I'm not. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another stream. How's everyone doing tonight? I am Ruben Prime, back at it with another stream. Hope you guys are doing well on this dreadful Tuesday. And yeah, we're here as per usual, live on Twitch and YouTube. So whatever your preference, whatever your poison, you can watch and indulge on either platform. But yeah, crazy week, with current events and all that, if you guys keep up. But yeah, now that the work day is done with for tonight, just chill with me for about 2 hours, play some Metroid Dread, and yeah, and of course, socials, follow me on Twitch at at RubenPrimeTV, and you can follow me on X, Twitter, if you want, at Mr. Ruben Prime. So many different usernames and variations of my name. Getting sometimes I get jumbled up, but yeah, follow me on there if you want. Follow me on YouTube as well at RubenPrimeTV. Again, that's youtube.com/RubenPrimeTV. And yeah, we play classics. We play some of my favorite titles. We play Metroidvanias. We play even fighters. We're playing Street Fighter 6 last week. And speaking of fighters, I brought City of the Wolves this weekend, and I was playing a little bit of it, the tutorial. And yeah, that game, definitely gonna be some labbing, and we're gonna be streaming that on Thursday. Lord help me. And yeah, backseat driving is allowed, pointers, tips, all that. That's all welcome, because my knowledge on Fatal Fury is as, like, say, shallow as my knowledge in KOF, which I know a little bit about KOF, but Fatal Fury, just playing, playing that that fighter is just like never played a Fatal Fury game, and if I did, I probably forgot. But yeah, that's gonna be an adventure. Tomorrow we're going to have Metroid Prime 2, and then Friday we're supposed to play. You're supposed to play Castlevania, but I'm gonna leave that to next month. I wanna get a few reps in After Image. Uh, didn't give that game a chance, and gotta play it a few times on stream. Like it's fun. I like it, so we gotta give that game a chance. But yeah, let's get into it. And then of course next month, be June. It's Switch 2. That's gonna be pretty insane. So definitely look out for this stream schedule. Got some things on the pipeline, of course. Mario Kart World. I do want to play Super Smash Brothers Brawl, the single player mode. Yes, there's such a thing as single player, campaign in games. I mean, even though I play a lot of single player type games, like the concept is foreign to a good amount of people. But yeah, like that game, Smash Brothers. Love that game, and we're gonna relive that. We're gonna try to relive some of that hype. And what else is on the pipeline? Yeah, just Mario Kart World, Super Smash Brothers Brawl. Um, yeah, it's just I think just those two. Oh, and Metroid Prime 3, because I think by the time we get to June, that'll be we're already Metroid Prime 3. We're already being Metroid Prime 2, and then there's the Expedition 33. Might look into that, but I gotta look more into the game. Not, it's like a JRPG, so give it a shot. But yeah, let's get into it. You heard me yap. For like 5 minutes. Oh, I got platinum points. Yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, but I was watching my friend Rome. Shouts to Rome himself. He's actually streaming right now some Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, and yeah, I'm trying to absorb as much knowledge with that game. Definitely trying to absorb as much knowledge with that game. But it's fun, like watching the gameplay. It's a lot of fun. That was a nice counter. Very nice counter. But we gotta go back in. Ah, Lord. Third time wasn't a charm with that, unfortunately. Try that. Nice little highlight. Nice little highlight. I'm supposed to be using the grapple beam, but got some chozo. Very sloppy. Playing very sloppy. Yeah, just getting my groove back. But there's I mean, everyone knows about the Diddy case happening, that the trial's going on. It started Monday, and it's been happening since Monday. They got they did jury selection, and yeah, that case is wild. And it's funny enough, like this, there's been a lot of sus stuff about Diddy being talked about for years, and the fact that this stuff has been going on, and people in the industry knew, but us normies aren't, privy to all this shit. Got it. Nope. Red is stopped. That's my chance. There's my. This normally doesn't give me any trouble, but it's giving me trouble tonight. But yeah, that just hearing what's been reported, because since it's a federal trial, there are no cameras allowed. Like if it's like a state trial and below, so like state, local, then it will be, there's an option for it to be televised, to the public. But since it's a federal case, it's like no media is allowed, and like people that go in that report, there's like someone that's been going, like a few people. That was a floating jump. There was one. There we go. That was sloppy, but W's a W. But yeah, that case, oof. Some stuff. Definitely some stuff was exposed. And again, like I was saying earlier, that there's been a lot of stuff that has been like reported about Diddy. But yeah, like the only thing I'm gonna say is like, this Hollywood, it's not the magical place that people make it out to be. It's not the magical place. So it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff that goes on in Hollywood. A lot of blackmail, and it's like, damn, man. But yeah, it's like, it's a mess. you know, just be careful. Just be careful. Yeah, I think the case is gonna. Then the case is gonna. They're gonna try and wrap it up in like 2 months, like before the 4th of July. Which I mean, I doubt it. But I always said, like, I always had in mind, I should say, because I haven't said it on stream, but I always had it, you know, in mind that Diddy was the fall guy. Like he was that let's say underling or someone, you know, like middle management, someone that they can give authority to, power to, do all this freaky stuff, and that way one day they can use that. Okay, you know, we're gonna hit that button, and he's gonna get, you know, charged and arrested, and just all his stuff is gonna be found out. You know, it's just gonna be like that panic button that they push. You know, with Diddy, so it's like it's not surprising. With Diddy, it's not surprising. Like it's. But yeah, that whole thing is oof. Speaking of Hollywood, there's reports that there's a sequel in the works for. I mean, we know this, but it looks like the title for the new Super Mario Brothers film, the animated film, is gonna be Super Mario World. So definitely a chance we see Yoshi. I would not mind that at all. Big Yoshi fan here. Big Yoshi fan. Here we gotta get the gravity suit. But yeah, I'm excited for that film. That film, when I saw it, I mean, little teensy wincy bias, since you know, grew up playing Nintendo. You know, had a Super Nintendo at my aunt and uncle's house when I was little, and I always used to try and, you know, spend the night, or have my cousin spend the night at my place, and he'll bring the Super Nintendo. So that way I can play. And that's how I played Super Mario World, because I didn't own a Super Nintendo. So, and also a family friend of ours had a Super Nintendo also. And I was able to play Super Mario World with them, and this memory that I always have with me until the day I die is helping them beat Bowser and going through the back door, because you know when you go to Bowser's castle, you can go through the front door, which is going through all those rooms, and you got to clear, you know, the first set of rooms if you choose room 1 through 4, and then when you clear one of those rooms, then you got to go through rooms 5 through 8, and then once you clear that one, then you'll be able to gain passage to fight Bowser. But they didn't know about the secret exit, and I was like, yeah, like this is how you get in, and it was cool. It was cool showing them. It was very cool showing them. It was, you know, fun childhood memory, and then I was able to beat Bowser, and it was so, you know, as a kid, you know, when you're a kid, and you know, now it's like, oh, okay, beat Bowser, cool, but you know, when you're a kid, it's monumental, you know, it's a big deal, especially when you're, you know, surrounding yourself with friends, and you're young, and it's like, you know, that's what gaming is about. Like I will always have that memory and many others of me not only playing certain games, and that's why a lot of those games I play on here. But it's why, you know, it's why I play a lot of those games on stream, and why I always try to find a way to play. Like, you know, I've brought a lot of these games multiple times across different platforms, and that's because, you know, that it's like a part of me. You got, I know you guys know, or have, I should say, a certain game that you cherish because of, you know, those memories that it instilled. And for me, it's Super Mario World. Well, one of many. You know, one of many. So it's really cool that we're gonna get a sequel to Super Mario Brothers. And yeah, and I think we're getting a Shrek movie too, we're getting a Minions movie. Hold on, let me go to that post. Let's see. There we go. Okay, I thought I lost the post. It's like when you open up X or Twitter and you try to click on a post and then it disappears or refreshes. I hate that. It's so annoying. But yeah, it's from NBCUniversal.com, so it's legit. It's not some guy, you know, writing some blog about it. Like it's actually from a reputable source. It's from NBC Universal. And it says blockbuster hits including Wicked, For Good, Jurassic World, Five Nights at Freddy 2. I thought the first one was fine. I didn't hate it, but I know a lot of people hated it. Streaming exclusively on Peacock following theatrical release, and I have Peacock because I watch all the WWE PLEs. So let's see. So we got exciting range of films from Universal Pictures, Focus Features, DreamWorks Animation, and Illumination. Which Illumination is the ones that made Mario Bros. Film. Okay, Megan 2.0. I saw Megan in theaters. That doll it's pretty cool. Nobody 2, Bad Guys 2, How to Train Your Dragon, Downtown Albi, the grand finale, Black Phone 2. I gotta watch the Black Phone, the first film. Him, the Phyrexian Scheme, Super Mario World, Shrek, and Minions. And yeah, it's I know Sims was there waiting, but yeah, it's pretty cool though, getting films. I mean, I'm there. Super Mario World, I'm there. Yeah, that was so delayed. Oof. All part of the puzzle. Good old energy tank. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I may have to go rewatch the Mario Bros. Film. I know I think we're getting it in 2026. Don't quote me. I think. If not. There's one big SOB. Almost there. Oh, gotta. I don't use the Phantom Cloak because I just find it. I just find it. I just find it like not entirely useless, but I just don't. It just makes you move so slow. Because the mobility with it is so bad. Do that again. Ooh, so much stuff on screen that it's gotta love it. Love it. Ooh, feels so much better. So where I was aiming at that specific block. No, we gotta go back up. This isn't 100%. It's not 100%. See what Adam has to tell us.
Uploading data.
EX have spread across the entire planet. Assume all living organisms have by now been replaced by X. There is another problem you may have noticed. The temperature of ZDR has started to fall. I cannot say for certain if the X are to blame, but the drop in temperature is indisputable. The gravity suit should keep you insulated from the effect of low temperatures. Even so, beware the unexpected and proceed with caution.
this boss. Not a fan of this boss. Not a fan. But it is what it is. I was gonna say there was some Switch 2 news that apparently Nintendo has the ability to brick your console if you try to like tamper with it. And like I said before, this I said on stream. Enough distance. Yep. Yeah, but that's what I was saying before on stream, is that you're gonna have people figure out how to jailbreak that console. And of course Nintendo's gonna be like, alright, you gonna try and do that? Alright, bet. But there are a lot of smart people. Took way too many hits. But yeah, like Nintendo, they're making it. They're gonna make it difficult for jailbreakers, hackers, modders to get into the system. And I'm definitely thinking it's gonna be the same route as all the devs for the Apple jailbreaking scene. I'm thinking that there's gonna be some people that are gonna fold. They're gonna spill the beans to Nintendo, and Nintendo's gonna put out a bounty, like, oh, like, who's cut out like any exploits you find. Let us know. We'll pay you, things like that. But Apple did that, and that's why a lot of these like new features that you see on iOS, like new versions of iOS, that's basically jailbreak tweaks. I know this because, back in the day, I was, heavily in the jailbreaking scene. Remember getting my, damn it. Okay. Nice. Let's say, yeah, like I was in the jailbreaking like scene for the longest until eventually Apple made it harder and harder for you to jailbreak your phone, and they got a lot of the devs, like I mentioned, with the with the bounties, like, oh, just come work for us, about that type of thing. And I remember a lot of these tweaks, like being able to play YouTube in the background, like if like that was a tweak until eventually, Apple and Co made that feature. Well, Google had that feature, to play, app background as a feature, premium feature that you had to pay for. So you already know. But yeah, I think Nintendo's definitely gonna go down that route. They're gonna try to not try. They're gonna make it harder for modders and hackers and developers to get into their stuff, and then have like bounties put out. Get those some of those same hackers onto Nintendo and work for them. So only a matter of time. Which I don't blame people for just going in and just giving Apple or Apple or any other company like the spill the beans to, but
this area
hold that thought.
is located in the depths of the planet. Much of it will be frozen. Find a way to thaw any frozen doors and pools you encounter. The central control system you activated in Caterus is still operational. Some force must be physically blocking the routing of thermal energy. ISIS returned here after solving the problem. The cooling has prevented you from exploring this area. There must be a vital ability hidden somewhere here.
Okay. And these gaming companies, they don't want you being able to share your games, have physical media. That's why they're doing what they're doing with the game key cards. It's basically a physical game, digital game with extra steps. That's essentially what it is. Just extra steps to play your physical games. That way it's frozen. But like I said, regardless that there's gonna be people that are they're gonna buy it. There's gonna be people that aren't gonna buy it, the console, and are gonna continue to support Nintendo. And there are people that I follow on X, and they're Nintendo enthusiasts, more on the physical gaming, you know conservationists, like to conserve physical media. But their stance has changed. I mean, that's the goal, like slowly but surely, to get people to soften up on their views. Like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, it's fine. Like, I'm just gonna play the game that I want to play. Like, it's the frog in the pot. Like, you gradually turn up the heat so they don't know that they're being cooked alive. It's exactly with everything you want. If you just tell someone, oh, you won't have the ability to soon you won't have the ability to play physical media, it's all going to be digital. Whew. Big SOB. Try to slide under it. Whew. Huge. Yeah, we gotta get to Cataris. Let's go to Cataris. Not through there, you won't. Yeah, but they'll figure out a way to just get you to soften up on your views, and I think that with a lot of those people, they mean well, because for the average person, it's very easy to be like, yeah, like, okay, we'll let this slide. It's not a big deal, It's like, I still have all my media, all my Switch 1 library. So, if not all of the Switch 2 games are gonna be, physical, then that's fine. I just want to play. I just think that it's a slippery slope. Just accepting anything because how that company made us feel. And I'm big Nintendo guy. Like, I grew up playing Nintendo, like I mentioned earlier in the stream. Big into Nintendo, but I can still like a company, like what their products, like what they've been offering. Whoops. I can still like what they offer, like them as a company, like the good that they did, but still call out the bad. And I think that when you let your bias, or you just let things slide, you just overlook things because of how that company made you feel, Like I can tell you so many stories of playing just Nintendo consoles, playing a lot of my favorite Nintendo games. But I can still say, yeah, what Nintendo is doing, is not right. It's anti-consumer. You know, you can still be consciously aware of what they're trying to do and still like what they've done in the past. But unfortunately, we just live in this. We live in a society. We live in a society conversation. One of those. Yep. Took too many hits there. But yeah, like I was saying before, like you can still be critical of a company, franchise, whatever. Like these two things exist. I always bring up G4. Like I was hyped and excited because of what this could mean. It coming back in the modern day with some, not all of the hosts, and they brought in new ones. But as time went along, and we saw what their vision was for this new G4, like it was just DOA. It was DOA, and I had people in my camp, friends of mine that were saying like, yeah, like I know you're hyped for G4 being back. It's like, yeah, I like the idea of it being back, but the execution and what we got is like, we might as well just left it dead, this SJW nonsense, and them again being anti-consumer, being anti-fan. It's like, fuck the fans. Like, even though we need the fans, we need the people watching our content, right? But we're gonna say, oh, like you don't watch. It's like, okay. And I was like, yeah, it's one of this like the same song and dance again. You got Adam Sessler, just hating on Republicans. does that, but it's not cool when you get hit by it. Yeah, I like how Samus's demeanor in this game, just in terms of how she just deals with these enemies. She doesn't like toy with them. She just is like, all right, let me undo because I got things to do, places to be, you know. So I like that personality that they gave her, even though she has like 2 instances of dialogue. One when she speaks Chozo, and then when she's yelling, you know, like it's just like in that sequence right there, like she spoke without having to say a word. What was I say? But yeah, like, you know, like I was saying, like you got Adam Sussler that was just a jaded old man hating on Republicans and just being just deranged. I remember back in the day, like he was a lot more like funny, you know, more funny, less cynical. But you know, time changes people. And, you know, unfortunately, not always for the better. And that's why you had Adam like that, and you had Frost, which, oof, talk about a network killer. It's like you're gonna die on that hill for just creating imaginary dragons to slay. And that is the trope of the SJW. Like I'm all for representation, but more so on people's merit, skill. If they happen to be a guy, happen to be a female, cool. Like, your gender, sexual orientation shouldn't, like, be the end-all, be-all. Like I'd rather hire someone because they can do the job, not because of their gender, who they sleep with. But, you know, alas, you have people in this, you know, in this world that only care about those shallow things, and it shows that they're not intelligent. You know, I said what I said. not really intelligent if all you talk about is race. Equivocate and then lean towards race and gender and all that. That's why G4 and many examples of that failed. Yeah, look at Snow White. Like, that movie was garbage. It was absolute garbage, and we knew it was gonna be garbage because, the lead actress that was playing Snow White, she basically spoiled the movie and gave us a preview to how, basically how the story was gonna be told. And we're like, okay. Screw attack. So it's like, yeah. It's like saying all the prince is weird and stalking, Snow White, and it's like, what? Like, it's shit like that. Shit like that. Whoops. Remember, A and B are reversed. Always gotta remember that. A and B are reversed. Always like the philosophical talk. How long we been going? Man, I had to end it at 11 on the dot. Was trying to stream a little later tonight, but gotta end it at 11. Unfortunately. Just gonna get to the next area. But yeah, like just many examples, and just watching that live, just watching what went down at G4 live, I was just like, whoa. And it happened on my birthday, by the way, which I'm still mad about. I was like, on all the days that went down on my birthday. Power bomb. Say, way to go, alienating the fans and basically, making sure that the brand known as G4 will be, just forever tainted. Because, just woke nonsense, woke garbage. And I remember just a lot of times we always bring up like, oh, like what what film should be like remade. Can't use it yet, but it's fun to grab it. even though we can't use it. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know what. Really don't know what. I feel like I've been like coming down with something. So I woke up this morning with just with my throat like scratchy. Just coughing up blood a little bit. I thought it was like phlegm. I was like, okay, maybe it's phlegm. But it was not. Get out of here. It was not. Actually, let's go back. Let's go back. Yeah, but way to go, you know, alienating, try saying that 3 times, your fan base, and then get mad when no one watches. You tell people, hey, don't like what we're doing, don't watch it, and people are like, okay, we'll definitely take you up on that, and then lo and behold, viewership drops, and then you're forced to shut down, and then people lose their jobs. And then, you know, the money stops coming in because you had to come in with your SJW nonsense. And it's like, you know, talk about the games. If you, you know, as we call them in the FGC, the, you know, stream monsters, you know, they go in and saying stuff like that. That's the nature of the beast. That is the nature of the beast. When you put your face and name out there, like, it's fair game. It's fair fucking game. And, you know, Frost looked a certain way. I mean, she didn't, you know, the whole, like, with, you know, the haircut and all that, nose ring, you know, that's all I'm gonna say. Because there's this thing going on now, like, if you have a nose ring, if a female has a nose ring, just, you know, run the other way. Because they'll ruin your life, you know, apparently. Or that it's been said, and of course, online, social media, but they'll say that, yeah, like, you know, they ruin your life, they have a bad, you know, they have bad opinions, bad takes. I mean, kind of on par, yeah. Like, definitely, they're definitely on the money right there. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, it's like, actually. That path is open. We don't gotta. and do some item hunting, cause while we're here, right? While we're here.
Uploading data.
Well done, Samus. You have stopped the planet from cooling. In addition, you have gained the screw attack ability. It will help you access previously unreachable places. You are far more combat ready than when you first arrived, but you are still not prepared to face Raven Beak. There is a very low probability of success in standing against him now.
Where does this go? But yeah, that whole thing with Frost and G4 was a shit show, and it's crazy because when it was announced that they was gonna come back, I think it was like in 2018, 2019 when they did they put that trailer out, and I was hyped. Like I was doing podcasts about it. My Rinky Dink podcast, just talking about, which I should definitely do something to talk about G4, do like a kind of like a retrospective, maybe do like a video, just like do a video form. Cause that too, like that was one of those pivotal moments. I remember just stumble upon Tech TV. I stumbled upon it. I didn't know about G4 until they merged with Tech TV. That's when I knew about G4, and then I went back and watched a lot of the G4 content. I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. G4, still G4 was great and everything, had its flaws, but like it was still had a lot to give. But I was a Tech TV person. Like that show kind of melded with me more, just a bit more, just like a edge. But I just gravitated towards that. But I remember coming home from school one day, and I was just like browsing through channels, and I just happened to stumble upon Tech TV, and I was like, oh, what's this show about? People getting their tech questions answered. This is 2003, so it was just like stuff like we have, like all you gotta do is just go on YouTube and search up like how to like identify an error, how to deal with your Windows PC giving you the blue screen of death, or troubleshooting your PC if it won't post, things like that. Like you can go on YouTube and you can just search that, and you'll have full video tutorials on how to troubleshoot and even build computers. So it's like, but for 2003 to have a show, a hotline live type of show like that was incredible. And I was like, let me see what this channel's about. Let me see what this is about. And then later on, in the day, like in the evening, they showed X-Play. I was like, X-Play, what's this? And of course, we had you know, the rest was history. And then there was another show called Unscrewed. That was like a late night talk show. Like it had like they talked about tech, but it was like a Howard Stern-esque show. Um, and too bad that show got canceled. But in the vision that Comcast wanted, like that show, like they didn't want that show. I still think they should have kept that show for a little longer. Like, but again, they just didn't see the vision. And ironically, those execs, they didn't care about the shows. They cared about the time slot. And the two popular shows that were left standing were X-Play and Attack of the Show, which Attack of the Show was it used to be called the Screensavers. And that show was a cool show. Even though one of the hosts, let's just say, allegedly there's some stuff that came out about him. Allegedly. But yeah. I'm just going around in circles. 10:55, yeah. Okay, let me go back and save. I'm just running around in circles. I just want to finish up the story. So yeah, like that's how I found like just one day in school, just browsing, just like trying to watch something, and I stumble upon that. And mind, this is back in the day when we had cable in 2003. I think I had Time Warner cable, and I was glad when I moved out here. When I moved, you know, out from where I used to live in New York to Queens, and when my mom, when she met my stepdad, and we moved in not too long, and yeah, and he had DirecTV, and DirecTV had Tech TV, so I was like, nice. But G4 wasn't on DirecTV. So one of the reasons why Comcast wanted to buy, well, Tech TV was up for sale, but Comcast wanted Tech TV's time slot because they had there were more homes than G4 was, and they had prime time slots. So that was like one of the reasons, the main reason why they went and brought Tech TV. And unfortunately, like as soon as they did that, like they gutted a bunch of shows, they fired people, and they just kept changing and changing. They never like they lost their identity. Like it's weird because when both networks were separate, they had an identity, but when they merged together, like it was lost because, you know, a bunch of execs were like, let's just turn into Spike TV Lite and have all these shows that have nothing to do with gaming or tech in it. But meanwhile, the two shows that were still around, that people were still watching after everything was said and done and the whole network was just gutted. It was one show about video games, that'd be X-Play, and then the other show was about tech and gaming and culture and movies and stuff. Attack of the Show used to be called Screensavers. So it's like, wow, who would have thought? Like, all they had to do was just, you know, leave those two, and they changed. They tried changing X-Play a lot. but people still watch. But they change it so many times, not even funny. And yeah, it's a mess. One big fat mess. Um, but yeah, maybe I'll do like a retrospective, do like a little retrospective timeline video. Maybe that'll be like a little project to do. Um, Cause it was fun. Like that time was a lot of fun. It I think the main reason why people gravitate towards nostalgia and you know things from quote unquote back in the day is because it was like a magic to it. I remember earlier on stream when I was on Rome himself stream and he brought up this movie, this Disney movie called, was it Disney? I think it was Disney. Sky High. It's a superhero high school. Uh, Kids were in the school. They had superpowers and all that. And I might go and watch that movie again. Gotta find it and watch it on demand. But I remember, and shouts to Ninja Keaton. He brought up that like it's misunderstood and it's magic. And yeah, like that movie, just like a lot of other like media during that time had, it had like magic. It's just something about that, just about that, about that film and just about that time period in general, is that there was just a lot of magic. Like stories were being told, not just for representation and all that, but just to tell a story and have characters and the setting tell the story rather than putting the representation and gender and all this other nonsense now that we get. It's insufferable. And back then, like, risks were taken. Like, imagine if we didn't get movies like The Terminator, Alien, The Matrix. Imagine we didn't get those films. RoboCop. Movies like Titanic. Mission Impossible. Just imagine if we didn't get those films back then. Like, wow. How strange will just culture and entertainment will be. And that's definitely an idea for a video. Cause it's just there's a lot of weight to why people gravitate towards nostalgia. Like it's good, but it's bad. But I understand why people go down that route, because what we have now, this is a lot of bait and switch. It's a lot of false promises. They give you like a little drip, a little drop of a semblance of a story and characters, but then at the end of the day, it's just more the same garbage, just manufactured, assembly line entertainment. You gotta have all these tropes. You gotta have all these things. You gotta have representation, just for the sake of representation, and forget about it. That's why people go back and watch a lot of the old films. Like I went back and watched a few films. I watched 300 this past weekend. And I was like, yo, this movie is dope. Like, this movie is fucking awesome. It's amazing. And I also saw, and I gotta watch it again. But I saw Dark City for the first time, so I'm definitely gonna be watching that again. It's like just watching a lot of those movies from the 90s and 2000s, even the 2010s. It's something about that. About those decades. Like now, like that's gone. Like that magic, that imagination, the risk taking is gone. Like it's not coming back from these major studios because they got an agenda, and it's unfortunate. And the culture has been it's been taken over. It's been taken over, and that's why you have what we have, and that's why every time I give something a chance, like, okay, let me check this out. Disappointed. I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot for, just putting my guard down again. But, all we can do is just, again, watch what you want to watch. And yeah, there's some good stuff in theaters, but it's just like, now it's just the exception to the rule now. Like, the norm is just getting and expecting garbage, But, yeah, I rambled long enough. Just wanted to get that story out. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. We'll be back tomorrow for Metroid Prime 2 Echoes on the Wii. And we're gonna start a little early. Definitely gonna start early. Lord willing. Because this week is gonna be kind of crazy on my end, but we'll try. We'll try this week. I'm already looking forward to June. Like, the month of May has not been kind to me, but we're still here. We're still trucking along. And even when you seem like you want to quit, you just got to keep pushing. So that being said, we're gonna end the stream. Appreciate everyone tuning in, live or after the fact once the VOD has been posted on Twitch and YouTube. Nice. Excellent, Ninja Keaton. Be here tomorrow, present. Oh, and I finally got City of the Wolves. I got it over the weekend. So I'm gonna be streaming that Thursday. That's gonna be a train wreck. But it's like, it's a train. You know how train wrecks are. Like, they're just horrible, but you have to look. So that's gonna be the tagline. That's gonna be the tagline with me playing City of the Wolves on Thursday. But tomorrow, Wednesday, will be Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. Friday, it'll be 50-50. Because I don't know, last Friday was just, I don't want to talk about Friday, but super rough. Hopefully I'll be able to stream this Friday. If not, then there won't be a stream on Friday. But it's just never ends. But yeah, guys, I rambled and yapped your ear to death. Appreciate everyone listening to this live, lurking, or after the fact on Twitch and YouTube. Remember, follow me here on Twitch at RubenPrimeTV, and also on YouTube at RubenPrimeTV as well. On X at Mr. RubenPrime, and TikTok at the same handle, Mr. RubenPrime. And Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram. Just don't be weird. At Mr. RubenPrime as well. So yeah. Guys, it's been fun, but I'm gonna get out of here. I don't know, my voice is starting to get all scratchy, so I'm gonna call it a night. But yeah, tomorrow, 9 p.m. EST, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, right here on the channel. Love you guys, appreciate you guys. See you soon. Peace. Peace.
Didn't I tell you to watch your fucking language? What are you doing? Where are you going? Get your hands off me, you goon! Don't fuck with me!